Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of English Conversations. I'm your host, Sarah, and I'm so excited to be here with you today. Whether you're listening while commuting to work, doing household chores, or sitting down with a cup of coffee, I'm thrilled you've chosen to spend this time improving your English with me. Today, we're going to talk about something that affects every single one of us, every single day. We're going to explore the perfect daily routine for beginners learning English. Now, you might be wondering, Sarah, what does a daily routine have to do with learning English? Well, I'm so glad you asked. Understanding how to talk about your daily routine is one of the most fundamental and useful skills you can develop when learning English. It's something you'll use in conversations with new friends, in job interviews, when making small talk, and in so many other situations. But before we dive in, let me tell you what we'll cover today. First, we'll go through a typical daily routine from morning to night, learning all the essential vocabulary and phrases you need. Then, we'll practice some common sentence structures and expressions. Finally, we'll do some interactive practice together. Sound good? Excellent. Let's get started. Part 1, Morning Routine. Let's begin at the very beginning of the day. The morning. For many people, how you start your morning sets the tone for your entire day. So let's talk about what a typical morning looks like and learn the English words and phrases to describe it. First thing in the morning, what happens? That's right. Your alarm clock goes off. We can say, my alarm clock rings at 6:30 in the morning, or I wake up at 6:30. Notice that we use at when talking about specific times. At 6:30, at 7 o'clock, at 8:15. Now, when your alarm goes off, what do? Hopefully, you don't hit the snooze button too many times. The snooze button is that button you press to get a few more minutes of sleep. We can say, I hit the snooze button twice this morning. But ideally, we want to wake up right away. After you wake up, you probably get out of bed. This is a phrasal verb, get out of bed. You might also stretch your arms and legs. I stretch when I wake up to feel more alert. Next, many people head to the bathroom. Let me teach you some important bathroom vocabulary. You might wash your face, brush your teeth, and take a shower or take a bath. Notice we use take with shower and bath. I take a shower every morning. We can also say have a shower in British English, but in American English, take a shower is more common. While you're in the bathroom, you might also shave, apply makeup, or do your hair. I shave every other day means you shave one day, skip the next day, then shave again. Every other day is a useful expression. After your shower, you get dressed. This means you put on your clothes. I get dressed for work. You might also say, I put on my work clothes, or I wear a suit to the office. Now, let's talk about breakfast. Breakfast is the first meal of the day, and it's very important. Some people have a big breakfast, while others just grab something quick. We can say, I have cereal for breakfast, or I eat toast and eggs, or I drink a cup of coffee and eat a banana. Here's a useful tip. We use have or eat for food, and drink or have for beverages. I have breakfast at 7. I eat an apple. I drink orange juice. Some common breakfast foods include cereal, toast, eggs, bacon, pancakes, waffles, oatmeal, yogurt, and fruit. For drinks, people often have coffee, tea, juice, or milk. Before leaving the house, you might pack your lunch, check that you have your keys and wallet, and grab your bag or briefcase. I pack my lunch the night before to save time in the morning. Finally, you leave the house or leave for work. I leave the house at 8 o'clock. I leave for work at 8. How do you get to work or school? You might drive your car, take the bus, take the train, ride your bike, or walk. I take the subway to work. I drive to the office. I walk to school because it's close to my house. Let's practice some complete sentences about a morning routine. I wake up at 6:30 every morning. First, I take a shower and brush my teeth. Then, I get dressed and have breakfast. I usually eat toast with butter and jam, and I drink a cup of black coffee. I leave the house at 7:45 and take the bus to work. The bus ride takes about 20 minutes. Did you notice how I used words like first, then, and usually? These are sequencing words and frequency adverbs, and they're super helpful when describing routines. Part 2, Daytime and Afternoon Routine. Now let's move on to the middle of the day. What happens during the daytime when you're at work or school? Most people arrive at work or arrive at school in the morning. I arrive at the office at 8:30. I get to school around 9 o'clock. Notice we can say arrive at or get to. They mean the same thing. Once you're at work, you might check your emails, attend meetings, work on projects, make phone calls, or talk to colleagues. Colleagues are the people you work with. I check my emails first thing when I get to work. I attend 3 meetings every Wednesday. Around midday, it's time for lunch. Lunchtime is usually between 12 and 1 o'clock. You might eat lunch at your desk, go out for lunch with coworkers, or bring lunch from home. I bring my lunch from home to save money. I go out for lunch on Fridays. Common lunch foods include sandwiches, salads, soup, pizza, pasta, or leftovers from dinner. Leftovers are food that you cooked before and saved to eat later. I'm eating leftovers from last night's dinner. After lunch, you continue working or studying until the end of the workday or school day. Some people have afternoon meetings or afternoon classes. The afternoon is the time between noon and evening, roughly from 12 to 5 or 6 o'clock. When does your workday end? You might say, I finish work at 5:30, or I get off work at 6, or my shift ends at 4. A shift is the period of time you work, especially if you don't work traditional 9 to 5 hours. After work, you might run errands. Run errands means to do small tasks like going to the grocery store, the post office, the bank, or the pharmacy. I need to run some errands after work today. You might also go to the gym or exercise class after work. I go to the gym 3 times a week. I attend a yoga class on Tuesday evenings. Let's practice describing a workday. I arrive at work at 9 o'clock and immediately check my emails. I spend the morning working on reports and answering phone calls. At 12:30, I take my lunch break. I usually bring a sandwich from home and eat at my desk while reading the news. In the afternoon, I attend meetings and finish my tasks for the day. I leave the office at 5:30 and head straight home. Part 3, Evening Routine. Welcome to the evening portion of our daily routine. The evening is when most people return home, relax, and prepare for the next day. When you get home from work, what's the first thing you do? Some people change into comfortable clothes. We call these casual clothes or comfy clothes. I change into sweatpants and a t-shirt as soon as I get home. Many people prepare dinner or cook dinner in the evening. I cook dinner for my family every night. I prepare a healthy meal with vegetables and protein. Some common dinner foods include chicken, beef, fish, rice, pasta, vegetables, potatoes, and salad. You might say, tonight I'm making grilled chicken with roasted vegetables, or we're having spaghetti for dinner. Of course, not everyone cooks. Some people order takeout or delivery. I order pizza on Friday nights. We get Chinese takeout when we're too tired to cook. During dinner, you might eat with your family, eat alone, or eat while watching TV. My family eats dinner together at the dining table every evening. After dinner, there are usually some chores to do. You might wash the dishes or load the dishwasher, clean the kitchen, take out the trash, or do laundry. I wash the dishes after dinner. I do laundry twice a week. In the evening, people relax in different ways. You might watch TV, read a book, browse the internet, play video games, listen to music, or talk with family members. I watch my favorite TV show after dinner. I read for 30 minutes before bed. Some people use the evening to pursue hobbies or spend time on personal projects. I practice guitar in the evening. I work on my photography hobby on weeknights. As the evening progresses, you prepare for bed. This is called your nighttime routine or bedtime routine. You might take a shower if you didn't shower in the morning, brush your teeth, wash your face, and change into pajamas. Pajamas are the special clothes you wear to sleep. We also call them PJs for short. Many people like to wind down before sleep. Wind down means to relax and calm down. You might read a book, listen to calm music, meditate, or do some light stretching. I read for 20 minutes to wind down before sleep. Some people prepare things for the next day. You might pack your bag, choose your outfit, or make your lunch. I lay out my clothes for the next day so my morning is easier. Finally, you get into bed and fall asleep. I go to bed at 10:30 every night. I try to get 8 hours of sleep. I fall asleep quickly when I'm tired. Let's practice a complete evening routine. I get home from work at 6:15. I change into comfortable clothes and start preparing dinner. I usually cook something simple like pasta with vegetables. After dinner, I wash the dishes and clean the kitchen. Then I relax by watching TV or reading a book. At 9:30, I start getting ready for bed. I take a shower, brush my teeth, and put on my pajamas. I read in bed for about 20 minutes, and I usually fall asleep around 10:30. Part 4. Important grammar and expressions. Now that we've gone through a complete daily routine, let's talk about some important grammar points and useful expressions that will help you discuss your routine more naturally. First, let's talk about the present simple tense. This is the tense we use for habits and routines. The structure is very simple: subject plus base verb. I wake up at 6. She eats breakfast at 7. They go to work by bus. Remember to add an S to the verb when using he, she, or it. He wakes up at 6. She brushes her teeth. It starts at 9. For negative sentences, use don't or doesn't plus the base verb. I don't drink coffee. She doesn't like mornings. They don't work on weekends. For questions, use do or does at the beginning. Do you wake up early? Does he take the bus? What time do they finish work? Now, let's learn about frequency adverbs. These words tell us how often we do something. Here they are, from most frequent to least frequent. Always, 100% of the time. Usually, about 90%. Often, about 70%. Sometimes, about 50%. Rarely or seldom, about 20%. Never, 0%. These usually go before the main verb. I always eat breakfast. She usually takes the train. They sometimes work late. But with the verb to be, the frequency adverb comes after. I am always tired in the morning. He is usually on time. Let's practice. I always brush my teeth before bed. I usually have coffee for breakfast. I sometimes work from home. I never skip lunch. Here are some other useful time expressions. Every day, every morning, every evening. On weekdays / on weekends. Once a week, twice a month, 3 times a year. In the morning, in the afternoon, in the evening, at night. Before work / after school / during lunch. Examples. I exercise 3 times a week. I clean my house on weekends. I check my phone every morning. Now let's learn some phrasal verbs related to daily routines. Phrasal verbs are very common in English. Wake up, to stop sleeping. Get up, to rise from bed. Get dressed, to put on clothes. Take off, to remove clothes. I take off my shoes. Put on, to place clothes on your body. Turn on / turn off for electronics and lights. Fill up, to make full. I fill up my water bottle. Use up, to use until nothing remains. Clean up, to make clean and tidy. Work out, to exercise. Here are some useful expressions for talking about routines. I'm a morning person means you feel energetic and productive in the morning. I'm a night owl means you prefer staying up late and feel more energetic at night. I'm not a morning person means you find mornings difficult. I hit the snooze button means you delay your alarm. I'm running late means you're behind schedule. I'm running on time means you're on schedule. I grab a quick breakfast means you eat something fast. I skip breakfast means you don't eat breakfast. I call it a day means you finish your work for the day. I head home means you go toward home. Part 5, interactive practice. Now it's your turn to practice. I'm going to ask you some questions about your daily routine. After each question, I'll pause, and I want you to answer out loud. Don't worry about making mistakes. This is all about practice. After the pause, I'll give you an example answer. Ready? Let's go. Question 1. What time do you usually wake up? Example answer. I usually wake up at 7 o'clock on weekdays, but on weekends, I sleep until 9. Question 2. Do you prefer taking a shower in the morning or in the evening? Example answer. I prefer taking a shower in the morning because it helps me feel awake and fresh. Question 3. What do you usually have for breakfast? Example answer. I usually have cereal with milk and a banana. Sometimes I also have a cup of green tea. Question 4. How do you get to work or school? Example answer. I take the bus to work. The journey takes about 30 minutes. Question 5. What time do you usually eat lunch? Example answer. I usually eat lunch at 12:30. I bring lunch from home most days. Question 6. What do you do after work or school? Example answer. After work, I usually go to the gym. Then I go home and cook dinner. Question 7. How do you relax in the evening? Example answer. I relax by watching Netflix or reading a book. Sometimes I call my friends to chat. Question 8. What time do you usually go to bed? Example answer. I usually go to bed at 11 o'clock, but I try to go to bed earlier on work nights. Excellent job. Those were great practice questions. Now, try to describe your entire daily routine from morning to night in just a few sentences. Use the vocabulary and expressions we learned today. Go ahead and speak out loud. Here's my example. I wake up at 6:30 every morning and immediately take a shower. After getting dressed, I have a simple breakfast of toast and coffee. I leave the house at 7:45 and drive to work. I arrive at the office at 8:30 and work until 5. After work, I stop at the grocery store to pick up a few things. I get home around 6 and cook dinner. In the evening, I relax by reading or watching TV. I go to bed around 10:30 to get enough sleep for the next day. Part 6. Tips for learning English through daily routines. Before we finish today's episode, I want to give you some practical tips for using daily routines to improve your English. Tip number 1. Keep a daily routine journal in English. Every evening, write a few sentences about what you did that day. This will help you practice the present simple tense and daily routine vocabulary. You could write something like, Today I woke up at 7. I had scrambled eggs for breakfast. I worked on an important project at the office. Tip number 2. Think in English about what you're doing. As you go through your day, narrate your actions in your mind in English. When you brush your teeth, think, I'm brushing my teeth. When you drink water, think, I'm drinking water. This constant mental practice is incredibly effective. Tip number 3. Label items in your house with English words. Put sticky notes on your mirror, your coffee maker, your closet, your bed, anywhere you interact with daily. Seeing these words repeatedly will help you remember them. Tip number 4. Change your phone and computer language settings to English. This gives you constant exposure to English throughout your day. Tip number 5. Find a language exchange partner and talk about your daily routines together. You can practice asking and answering questions about each other's days. Tip number 6. Watch English vlogs on YouTube where people film their daily routines. This is a fun way to learn natural expressions and see how native speakers describe their days. Tip number 7. Create a speaking routine. Set aside 10 minutes every day to practice speaking English out loud. You could describe your routine, talk about your plans, or simply speak about anything on your mind. Remember, consistency is key. Doing a little bit of English practice every single day is much more effective than studying for hours once a week. Make English a part of your daily routine, and you'll see improvement much faster. Well, my friends, we've reached the end of today's episode. I hope you found this lesson helpful and that you learned lots of useful vocabulary and expressions for talking about daily routines. Remember, being able to describe your daily routine is an essential skill in English. You'll use these phrases in job interviews, when making new friends, in casual conversations, and in so many other situations. And so keep practicing. Before you go, I want to remind you that this podcast is brought to you by Rochford's English channel. If you want to learn English fast and improve your skills quickly, head over to Rochford's English channel. You'll find tons of lessons, tips, and resources to help you on your English learning journey. Whether you're a complete beginner or an advanced learner looking to polish your skills, Rochford's English channel has something for everyone. You can find us online with a quick search for Rochford's English channel. Thank you so much for listening today. I'm Sarah, and I'll see you next time on English Conversations. Until then, keep practicing, stay motivated, and remember, every day is a new opportunity to improve your English. Happy learning, everyone!